Welcome back to another Big 3 review. My name is Weekly Shonen and I still don't have a tagline. But we'll work on it. We'll get there eventually. Now, although we didn't get any One Piece chapter this week, we did get 2 Jujutsu Kaisen, or 2.5 Jujutsu Kaisen chapters, which is, hey, I'm not complaining. I am still upset that the One Piece anime is off as well for the next 2 weeks. So we'll have to make do without that, but as a content viewer instead of a content creator, just as the audience, I've got plenty of Hunter x Hunter Chimera Ant arc to finish up, so I'm okay. I hope all is well with you all. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with Jujutsu Kaisen 168 this week, the beginning, or I guess the continuation of Fushiguro's 1v3. I know I said last week in a 1v1 scenario, always bet on Kaido, always bet on Fushiguro, but this turned into a 1v3, potentially a 1v4 scenario. Very unfortunate for my man here. Luckily, he gets some help at the end, which I can't believe I didn't see it coming, that the most serious character in Jujutsu Kaisen was going to be paired up with a comedian. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening there. Now, we did get a couple of introductory boxes this week, which is cool. We got Hazanoki, not going to care about him, but Iori, the explosive guy who blew up his eye. Now, I don't know if I'm hoping that he isn't limited to the body parts on him, because he's gonna run out of things to blow up eventually, and I'm assuming that with a character of his type, he's kind of a day daughter, so he can shoot out things that blow up, or he can use himself, and in the worst case scenario, as a kamikaze device. But he did get some assistance here from Reggie, who we got an introductory box this week of, and is actually named Reggie Star, like register, because you can see that, I think I called this too in the review where he was first introduced, but the papers around him were receipts, and you can see a close-up of a couple of them today a couple of them this week, when he dishes them out, and you can see the gasoline on them still. So shout out to Reggie Star, shout out to Gage for keeping up the name schemes, keeping them really fresh. I really like the panel that we got here of Remy's face. You can see how bad of a person she is, or just how, I guess, scarred of a person she is, because there's a realization here that Megumi tries to force on her, which is that they don't care about you. The people who you are trusting to protect you could not give a shit about you, myself included, because I was kind of goaded into protecting you. So I don't care to see Remy redeemed this arc. I know that, since they're introduced, unless she gets killed, she's probably going to stick around and get on Megumi's good side, or as good as you can get on Megumi, but I really don't care. After seeing her response here to him just trying to help her realize that she's in a lose-lose situation, I don't really care for her fate at this point. She can be used as a meat shield, and I don't think the popularity polls would show any type of effect on that. Also, shout out to Megumi for, beating Gojo. I know it's only the second popularity poll, but hey man. And also Gojo hasn't been around, so it was still good to see Megumi shine on top. And it's the 3 best boys of the anime, so, or the manga, or the series, whatever you like to refer to things that have anime adaptations as. But good to see. Also, we got Jujutsu Kaisen on the Shonen Jump cover this week. Pretty cool cover. I don't necessarily pay attention to the covers of Shonen Jump, but when I'm reading, if I can see it, if I can catch a glimpse of it, I always appreciate some of the art, especially the art that we got with the cursed paintings, right? So I don't know if that kind of spoils anything, or not spoils, but just like gives something away, because you do have the 3 cursed paintings, and you have what's his face, Sukuna there with them. So I don't know if they were all related. I feel like that kind of hints at the fact that, yeah, maybe the cursed paintings were related. Still doesn't explain Junpei or Todo having, specific memories with Yuji, but if, maybe Sukuna, maybe it could be a Sukuna thing, right? Or just maybe a vessel thing. We all know that Yuji was probably always destined to be Sukuna's vessel, some shit like that, but I don't know. I feel like that cover page kind of gave us a little bit of a hint towards, what might come later on, with a big reveal that we might have seen coming by then, but at least has been set up and teased at with things like this. So all in all, though, I really like this chapter. I'm looking forward to seeing how the dynamic is between the two, because I'm guessing that Takaba is going to be somewhat strong. I doubt he's going to be on Megumi's level at all. He's probably going to become somewhat of a liability, but he's going to become useful, I think. He's going to serve as someone that can help in this situation. If he doesn't help, at the very least, he can help Megumi escape it. But yeah, I just want to see Megumi get back with Yuji, but while also holding the burden of Takaba on his side, and see how those two interact. I'm looking forward to it. It kind of feels like, in a way, that what's his face? That Megumi probably should have met up with Higurama, because they're two very serious individuals. It probably wouldn't have been good for Higurama, but Megumi probably wouldn't have convinced him to give his points, because you can see his Megumi's negotiating skills are not that good. But it would have been cool to see a switcheroo there of Yuji seeing Takaba, or Reggie too. I don't know, but I think I would have enjoyed either one. So yeah, let's get into My Hero 337. We see the AFO, just like the rest of us, is already over this traitor plot line. Good for him, as to be expected. He's evil. He has many ways to get to his goal, his destination. So, I think he's just playing it by ear. But hey, what if things go wrong? It's all right. I've already taken for account whether or not things are gonna go wrong. We're still gonna make the proper moves that we need to make. And then if we find out in the middle of the battlefield or whatever that Aoyama is not a mole anymore, or has been working with the good guys, then I've already got something around that. Now, it does seem like AFO can just make someone explode on command, and if he can talk to Aoyama through the quirk, then I don't know how he's not already exploded. I don't know how AFO just hasn't gotten to him yet. Maybe he's not paying attention. He's not tapping in to the line that he has to Aoyama. But man, I don't know. I just didn't like the backstory. I know that it's necessary. We couldn't, in terms of pacing, I don't know if Kohei could have made it so that you get the reveal of last chapter, and then you skip all of this extra backstory, sad backstory stuff, and then you have the encounter with Deku. It wouldn't have fit all in one chapter, so I get that we had to kind of milk the backstory thing and just add more to it, but I feel like that was kind of unnecessary. Not unnecessary, I just explained why it's necessary, but I didn't need to feel more bad for Aoyama, and I didn't need to know anything more about the situation that he was in. I feel like we got a good sense of it last chapter, but I think it was necessary to just add to the intensity of the moment. We got a really good panel that was split in half of Midoriya activating his One For All. I thought that was one of the coolest panels of the series, because I've never seen him activate it, and maybe it's because I was anime only up until about season 4. I want to say until just before My Villain Cat. I couldn't even, actually no, I think right at the beginning of the war is when I actually caught up, because I definitely read right through my Villain. But hey man, it was good to see. Yeah, it was definitely I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure stuff out right now. And yeah, we got an Invisible Girl face reveal this chapter, which was cool, or I guess a half face reveal, but it was good to see her crying, and to see some emotion that she had, because you do have Midoriya just trying to be like, let's get through this, and he's still crying himself. He's definitely torn, but he's just trying to push past it, because he knows the power of friendship in shonen manga is above all, so don't create an enemy. But also that you get to see his reaction mixed with Invisible Girl's reaction. He's trying to stop the bleeding, and she's just hurting. She's letting Aoyama know how hurt she is, and she does come for his neck a little bit. Says him like, how can you dare sit next to us knowing all this stuff? But someone's hurting, and Class A is also hurting. It was cool to see Deku holding the fort down, getting rid of the parents before they can say anything else, before they can make any more excuses for their decisions and whatnot. He stops the bleeding, he shuts them the hell up, and then yeah man, we just move right on back into the school, where we get a quick bit of serious Nezu, which I couldn't take serious. It's just seeing that man's cufflinks go up to past his wrists. It's just seeing a mouse in a suit, and don't care how serious he might be, is just absolutely adorable. But obviously 1A was not having any of it. Sorry, that's my low power mode. I have to stop real quick. But yeah, obviously 1A was not having any of it. He tries to tell them to get out the room, and I think the reason that his face was just so dark is because he knew as principal, the correct thing for him to do is to have his students leave the room and let the adults handle this, or the professionals, handle this. But, he kind of knew in his heart before he even let those words out that they were going to push him on that. And it was cool. It was really good to see a determined class 1A. Not only were they determined, they were all clearly hurt. They're all, playing the background, but also just chiming in every now and again just to be like, what the hell, man? We got a bunch of talk no jutsu in from Deku. It was cool to see Bakugo just play the master tactician role real quick. While Midoriya is attempting to cancel culture and tell Aoyama, like, it doesn't matter if you made one mistake in the past. We're not going to cancel you forever. You're still our boy. As long as you're willing to help us pass this, we're willing to help you pass this. And in the background, Bakugo's just like, good move. We can definitely use this. So he's growing as a hero, but he has not grown at all as a human being, it seems, or as a person who understands social cues. So still a funny moment, but it's just good to see the class hurting. And then we did get the cheese. We got the cheese, which was what I called for last week. I didn't know if there was any sign or past piece of evidence that we could look to show that Aoyama was the traitor. And I don't know if the cheese identifier here was a signal pointing directly to Aoyama, or the fact that the mole was in class 1A. I have to go back and read. Obviously, I'm not studied enough on these things, so apologies there. But I was very happy to at least see some form of evidence there pop up. So good to Horikoshi Sensei for finishing that up, or kind of bringing some of those details together. And here's the thing, though. I'm just waiting on next chapter when Midoriya finally touches Aoyama, either his vestiges to activate, or have some interaction with One For All, or One For All to just blow Aoyama up right then and there. Because I feel like if he does touch Aoyama and then AFO is actually listening in, then we could potentially have a mental moment there between Deku and AFO where he's just like, you found the mole, here's what I'm gonna do to him. But fingers crossed that's not the case. I hate seeing AFO get the last laugh, which he always seems to get. As much as I complained about it last chapter, I kind of do like how this confrontation ended up playing out, because sure, the mole itself, the reveal was kind of a letdown, other than the switcheroo that we got. And honestly, when Aoyama shot that light at Invisible Girl, I'm not gonna remember her name, but at Invisible Girl, and she's like, I can bend light. I got Star and Stripe vibes from that, but also it was cool to see that little light there was finally what made her a little bit visible to us. And honestly had me going when I kind of misread the boxes there when she's just like, how could you? I read that as Aoyama doing that, and him basically going like, I'm shooting you with this light beam because you're also a mole. I thought that we were going to get a second reveal there where it's not just one person. It was actually both of them working together, and this was like a guilt trip thing that we saw between the two of them, and they were going to battle it out. That would have been awesome, but this was a moment for Deku to shine and just basically, put an end to things. So I'm not mad at it. At the end of the day, Horikoshi was able to kind of flip that last minute and be like, hey, we're still going to get a couple great character moments out of this. So I'm not complaining anymore. I'm satisfied by the ending that we got to this, unless something dumb happens in the future. Unless they don't use Aoyama right, or there's a plot hole here where AFO just does not tune into the conversations that are happening, so he doesn't know that Aoyama is betraying him, because it feels like he should know. He should always, unless that search quirk thing was destroyed, right? And in which case he can't tune into conversations like that. If that's the explanation there, I'll be okay with it. But I think Horikoshi just really needs to lay that out a little bit better, because it could be a plot hole. He just has to make sure he doesn't have AFO use that type of quirk again, right? And then we're good. As long as it doesn't activate for the rest of the series, then when we look back on this revealed, it'll it'll have been really good. In retrospect, especially if we can go back and find even a couple more clues to show that it was actually Aoyama. I know that we always see Aoyama looking at the audience or the reader. He's always like, if we see him in the background, he's always staring directly at us, and I don't think that counts. But if we can find anything else that is similar in that regard, or that will point to him specifically, hey, I'm for it. But yeah, man, as for chapter 168.5 of Jujutsu Kaisen, it was just a promotional chapter. You know, nothing serious really happens. We got some cool Utsuhime panels. I love seeing that woman. Good to see her. It's also, it makes sense, you know, if she would care about her skin routine, if she's got that big freaking scar on her face. You know, it's good that she's not insecure about that. You know, she's more so just like, I'm a growing woman, I need to take care of my skin, not just like, I'm a very strong woman, I need to make sure that no one sees this thing. You know, that's a battle scar for her at the end of the day. So eventually maybe we'll get some backstory on why that got there, but hey, I'm just happy with seeing the gang over again. I have to wait until the movie drops to see them again, but we did not have to wait until the movie drops or until he was released from prison to see Gojo Sensei. We got a whole YouTube skip ad panel with him, which is pretty cool. Thanks to Toho pressuring him. So it's always good to see how Gage is just really upfront with breaking the fourth wall here, especially in these special chapters. There's not really much to talk about here. We didn't get any revelations. We didn't get any character moments or something like that. It was just a cool little gag chapter. We got some Bitcoin reference. That was pretty funny, but twice, I think. So yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I'm very satisfied shonen reader this week. Just some quick updates, or I guess like me ranting or just babbling at the end of the video. So when we have breaks, if it ever gets down to that, you know, only one chapter is available, I'm gonna find a different manga to cover for that week, but I will not be covering that thing consistently. You know I really would love to start talking about Spy X Family, because I'm, you know, really enjoying that. I just don't know how to put that in this format. You know, I don't want to put any more than 3 per week in this format. But, you know, if a new chapter of that is out, while, you know, 2 things are on break, I'll definitely cover that. And just, you know, anything else that you guys recommend I cover, I'll read up, I'll catch up, just so that I can cover, you know, that on the off weeks. Never am I ever covering Black Clover, though. So don't even try. When if Bleach ever comes back, you know, I know that we got 1 chapter, but if that ever comes back, I'm in there. That's how I started the whole manga reviewing thing, or not even that I started reviewing, but the first time I ever watched a manga review was like Tekken 101 covering Bleach and Sawyer 7 Mage covering Naruto. So if I can get the chance to do the Bleach comeback manga, I'm in there immediately. Don't worry about it. Even if I have to cover that shit separately or drop something in the meantime, hopefully My Hero's done by then, or Jujutsu Kaisen. I am hoping those stick around, because I really like covering these 3 specifically for the big 3, because I feel as though these are really the biggest 3, you know, shonen out right now. Other things can outsell them, but I feel like those are the best front runners there. So I want those to last as long as possible, even though, you know, I'm pretty sure My Hero's in its final act, its final arc, and maybe Jujutsu Kaisen has 1 more after this to cover. So, you know, never know. Either way, that's enough of my ranting. I'm kind of figuring out this whole Twitch stream setup. So Twitch stream setup, I got my OBS working, so I'll be up more consistently. I'll be live more consistently. I'm still figuring out the whole, you know, how to be a streamer thing. So in the meantime, I'll just be playing Destiny and Rocket League, and then finding another game to throw in there. So look out for that. You know, as I say in the description below, I'm always updating on my Instagram and Twitter. No, I'm not. I keep forgetting. But I'll be trying to update more consistently, and I'll be, you know, if you're here right now on the day 1, you understand that I'm kind of new to this whole thing. So I'll be figuring it out, and I'll continue to figure it out, and I'll only continue to get better at this stuff as we go on. So bear with me, folks. I'm here for the long haul. I love doing this shit. So as long as I can, as long as I don't, you know, have a computer explode and, you know, Lord forbid the worst happens to me, I'll be here covering as much shonen as I possibly can. So my name is Weekly Shonen. My name has been Weekly Shonen. And yeah, man, I hope you have a great day. If you know, enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit. I'll start saying that in the description just because I hate that. Or like I'll get one of the little banners that pops up. I'll work on that. But I just hate giving that whole spiel. It's just annoying to me. So thank you anyway. Appreciate you for watching. If you even got this far, it's a 31-minute video. I'm gonna have to figure out how to cut this shit by tomorrow morning. But yeah, once again, my name is Weekly Shonen, and you have a great week. Or I'll see you Thursday or Friday, whenever Platinum End review comes out. So bye.